Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Kevin. I hope you guys are having a good night. Please make sure you start this video off by clicking that thumbs up button. And if you're watching the Scorpion Show for the first time, I hope that you subscribe. Also, make sure that you share this video on Facebook and Twitter. And if you're watching on your TV, snap a pic and tag me on Instagram showing me that you're watching using the hashtag The Scorpion Show. I'm here to talk to you guys about the finale, the reunion for season 6, part 1 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, which was pretty, it was dry during the beginning, but it got good when they started, talking about the drama that was going on and throwing shade with each other. I am going to be reviewing the reunions right after they go off. So, yes, get used to seeing me on Sunday nights besides not just talking about Total Divas. So I'll be talking about Total Divas and The Real Housewives of Atlanta on different videos. But anyway, let's get back into this reunion. The reunion starts off, they noticed that, Andy say hi to everybody. It looked like it was a little bit of shade going on between Nene and Andy. I didn't understand what was going on. If he knows that Nene doesn't like to be called Lanithia, just because you are her boss, don't mean you could call her Lanithia. Call her Nene. And she called him Andrew. I'm like, it was just pity banter going back and forth with them. Then he talked about Porsha's new breast. She got some breast investments, and it looked like she was a little bit ashamed to talk about it. Bitch, if you got your breast done, you got your breast done. Don't talk about, do they smell new? Just say yes. You wanted your chest to look a little bit more, so you invested in them. All right, there we go. Porsha, what's her name? Not Porsha, Phaedra. He was talking to Phaedra about her, what did Phaedra do? Phaedra and the scandal and everything with her husband. Clearly, she didn't really want to talk about it, and I think Andy caught the hint, so he moved on. Then he started asking them different questions, claiming that they was from people writing into the show, asking questions. I didn't like some of them. Some I just think was a little racist. Some sexist, but that's just what Andy gives. That's just how Andy is on the show. But anyway, I got a little bit tired of them talking about twerking, dicks and ass and all of that. Let's get into the drama now. I got to pull my notes out. So after the commercial break, they came back and they started talking about the drama that was going on between them. They talked about Kandi and Todd and the play and everything. I'm going to try to speed this shit up because I don't want to spend 30 minutes talking about this reunion. So they talked about Kandi and Todd, and do they think that Todd is an opportunist? Cynthia was like, well, first of all, I don't even know him like that to even call him that, but if that's what Natalie implied, that's what she implied. She didn't say it, but that's what she implied, that he was a goddamn opportunist, and basically that's what she did. And people do it all the time. Just because they don't actually say it doesn't mean they aren't hinting to it. So, they talked about that. They talked about the play. Then they asked Nene about it. Then Nene tried to lie. Like, Nene does not, like, if you said it and we all watched you say it, don't sit here on the reunion and deny that you didn't say that you didn't want to work in a Kandi play because you went from Ryan Murphy to Kandi Burruss, and that doesn't look right, and you turned down all these jobs. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what are you really doing besides The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and now you're doing Dancing with the Stars? And I see you got your clothing line, but what are you doing acting-wise since your roles on Glee has been diminished and the new normal has been canceled? Like, what are you doing? Like, you didn't show anything this season where you actually worked with an acting coach to try to expand you for being typecasted, always playing Nene Leakes, but with a different name. You haven't done anything, so you sat there and lied about not wanting to work with Kandi. And then I want you to know one thing: you will never get the last word on Kandi. So don't sit here and go word for word with Kandi, because she's not afraid of you. She don't back down like these other girls. She's going to be right back in your face, because if you dish it, you should be able to take it, Nene. So anyway, they ended that little fiasco, and that was, that was really the end about what we see with Kandi and Todd and everything. We'll see more next week when Mama Joyce comes on the show. They talked about Kenya and her dog and everything. I never felt sorry for Kenya this whole time watching this reunion. Just like Porsha said, which I was saying on Twitter, she is trying to play the victim in everything. Like, girl, don't sit here and try to say, oh, they did this to me, they belittled me, they called me out my name. When you sat there in your confessionals and you talked shit about All of them. You talked about every last one of them. If anybody that can sit there and say, you know, I don't talk about nobody, I don't do this and I don't do that, so why they coming at me? The only person I would take that bullshit from is Cynthia. Because Cynthia don't fuck with nobody. She fucks Peter, she does the Bailey agency, she hangs with Nene, and you know, I can't wait to see next week when she talks about how Nene called Peter a bitch and all of that. Now that's going to be good. That's somebody who I can feel sorry for. Then I realized that, okay, yeah, maybe the story is true about the dog, and I feel sorry for anybody that loses their animal. But don't sit here and act like you don't know the reason why nobody didn't come to your dog's funeral. That's because you showed your ass with everybody and you've been picking fights with everybody. And don't nobody want to come to a funeral for your dog when you've been trying to fuck their man. You and Nene got something going on. We all know that's the reason why she wasn't there. And you know, what's her name? Porsha wasn't fucking coming because you've been talking all that shit about her ex-husband on the Mexican trip. So let's not play dumb on why these people weren't there. See, you should have kept it real, but you didn't. And that's what I know is a lot of these girls on here did not keep it real about their situations that were going on. Kenya's boyfriend, this Casper the Friendly Ghost, Mr. Invisible, all of that shit, and the ex-Candy, Kenya, would you take a lie detector? I don't feel I have to take a lie detector test for them just to prove that it's real and everything. I live my life under the radar. I don't never post anything on Twitter and all that. First of all, Kenya, nobody gave two fucks about you before you even joined the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, you know, you came on this show, you hired a fake boyfriend, you made it clear that your goal was to get married and have babies and everything. Now, I do feel sorry about you not having babies, and you sit here and say you beautiful and dick is not a problem, but if you've been with all of these men and you still haven't been married, I think something might be wrong with you. And it's not just because you can't have babies, it's because you are delusional. You can be beautiful on the outside, but damn it, once you get in that house and get to know who you are, you probably are very ugly on the inside. So maybe that's why you have these problems that you're going through. And I'm not talking about with the children, I'm talking about with the men. And if it's that serious, you can get artificially inseminated. Don't nobody give a fuck about who your secret boyfriend is. And guess what? Even if you do have a secret boyfriend, we would have seen it by now. It's too many cameras. Like you have a pretty big name now that you're on the show, so we would have seen you with somebody. If you don't have a man, you don't have a man. Point blank. You don't have to prove yourself to nobody on the show. But see, this is the problem because you keep talking about all of these girls and their issues with their husbands, and you trying to fuck one of their husbands, and then you coming down on somebody that's losing a husband and saying that it's karma and all of that shit. See, you're just fucked up. Like, you want to feel sorry for you, but because of how you really are, like, we can really see you had some issues, like with your mother, with your dog dying, with the, you know, you saying that you've been in a relationship for 4 years with someone, and then y'all broke up, and then you got this dog, and then the dog dying. Like, we want to feel sorry for you, but you are an actress, so this all could be a motherfucking act. I don't know. So I'm not feeling sorry for Kenya at this moment. And, you know, she can really tug on your heartstrings, but then when you look at her and be like, fuck that bitch, no. Like, that's what she gives sometimes. And I ain't got time for people like that. I wouldn't have time for people like that. I don't have nobody in my life like that because, first of all, they wouldn't be there if they were doing all of that shit. So, like, Kenya, don't act like everybody dogged you and called you out your name when you did the same thing, especially with Phaedra and her baby weight. I would rather be carrying baby weight than be walking around with craters all over my face. And then the craters are so fucking bad that the makeup couldn't even hide it. Like, get that camera off her face. Are you fucking kidding me? Get that camera off her face. Like, come on, don't do that. You talked about everybody, and then you talk about, oh, they talked about me. Oh, fuck you, that's bullshit. So, what else went on with people's issues? Where are my goddamn notes? I hope I didn't delete them. Yeah, fuck her misfortunes and all of that stuff. And then Porsha got on her. Porsha was preaching. But see, this is my thing. In the beginning, Porsha instigated that mess between her and Kenya. Yes, I said it. I believe she did it. And then, since she was being, you know, instigated by, Kenya was being instigated by Porsha, that's when she pulled out the scepter and oh, you don't speak unless you're spoken to, and she takes the scepter, throws the scepter. If I was Cynthia, I'd be like, bitch, get that out my face, because if you hit me, we really gonna have a problem. If you hit me with that scepter, and then, you know, you're pulling out bull horns. Your bull horn should have been ready before you even try to pull it out. Don't be sitting there trying to put props together, because that's not cute. Be a prepared bitch. Maybe that's why all of y'all always late all the damn time. That was late. The bullhorn was late, and the scepter was late. Because if you are fucking queen and all of that, queens don't carry no damn bullhorn. They don't do that. So you taking the scepter, put it in that girl's face, and you blowing the blowhorn and telling her to shut up. Now that first part, I was like, all right, well, she only did it because, you know, she was, you know, jumping in her conversation and getting her opinion and everything. But I just feel like Porsha was just so upset with Kenya that she just had to say something when really she could have said nothing. Like, I'm like, you bringing up stories from media takeout, like, don't nobody want to hear that shit. Most of the stories on media takeout are fake, and some of them are true, but most of them are fake stories and false stories. And I keep telling y'all, stop falling for that shit. Stop falling for all of these stories and articles that people keep posting. Use your common sense and think about it. If all these other websites aren't reporting it and just one website are reporting it, that's what make it fake. And then you want me and Mikkel to sit here and talk about it. You think I really give a fuck if Kenya's fucking a singer? Excuse me, I thought she was dating an oil tycoon. African singer does not equate to an African tycoon, not unless oil tycoon, not unless he can sing too. But anyway, yeah, I got time for that drama and stuff. So what, I really don't care too much about what else happened after that. After that, Kenya was sitting there, you know, talking with Andy, and then she started talking about Porsha's husband. Now, I don't remember it word for word because I only watched the reunion once. But definitely, Mikkel and I will dissect this shit again tomorrow when we talk about it, which will be up on Tuesday. And, you know, she started talking about Cordell and how Porsha cheated on Cordell and all of this shit. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? Now don't be sitting here making up stories just to make people mad and get people upset by antagonizing them, you know, doing all of that bullshit. So after a while, listen, everybody has a motherfucking breaking point. As I told y'all a couple weeks ago when we found out about that fight. You can't keep pushing buttons thinking that people are not going to retaliate. Don't push my motherfucking buttons. Don't do it. So you push the buttons about the ex-husband, about Cordell and all the rumors and everything. So Porsha got up and got in your face. So you're going to tell Porsha, if you hit me, you touch me, you get fired. Get fired. Like, that was your goal. Then after she did what she did, bitch, she took you by the hair and slung your ass to the ground. I mean, is that all you're worth, Miss Kenya Moore? All that fucking mouth and can't back shit up. She yanked, well, of course it had to be your real hair, because I didn't see any weave. She pulled that shit and slung you to the ground. I couldn't believe that her small ass was able to do that to you, to a big bitch that got all this fucking mouth. And then, you know, Porsha sitting there crying, I can't believe I did this, I can't believe I did this. I'm so embarrassed myself. Like, you knew what was going to happen before you did it. But see, again, it's the breaking point. It's not that you can't believe that you did it. Maybe you were saying, I can't believe I just got fired for doing this because I knew I shouldn't be doing this. What else? And shout out to the people, because I didn't know that was a rule on the Real Housewives. Because I thought I've seen or heard about fights before on the Real Housewives line, especially with the with those husbands. Now I know the husbands. I know I've seen something with the husbands before, but you know, I guess they're not the housewives. So, or if they had any other fist fights or other altercations, I don't know about, and I really don't care because I really like the Real Housewives of Atlanta series. But anyway, that fight, the fight in itself, no, it didn't have to go down. But this is what happens when you push somebody's buttons. Kenya is an antagonist. They showed those clips for 2 years, how she antagonized Porsha, how she talked about her husband, how Porsha kept saying, bitch, you don't have a husband. Get you a husband. How you going to try to read me and you don't even have a husband? Then you hiring fake boyfriends. You know, then you got Phaedra getting you. I mean, it's just so much going on with Kenya. It's just somebody was going to have a breaking point. and it was Porsha first. But I don't know if Porsha was drunk, because I never seen nobody cry after either beating somebody up or just yanking them to the ground. I ain't never seen nobody have that much remorse. If anything, they want to kick their ass again. Now, I can't believe they did that. I'm all a character. No. So anyway, I think it was really Kenya's plan. Kenya is one of them people, and I think she probably does this because she think that if they touch me, they'll get fired. So I can just talk that shit and I can antagonize them all they want. No, it don't work like that. You know, especially when you dealing with people that know how to blow up and turn up. Like, I think that Porsha was turning up a little bit too much in the beginning. And then after Kenya pushed those buttons about Cordell, it was over. Andy tried to talk to Porsha. Andy tried to talk to Kenya first. Kenya like, I'm out of here. Either she's going or I'm going. All this shit, and then Andy goes into Porsha's room, and Andy gave her one of those things like. Andy came into like, you know how a boss want to fire you, but they're not gonna fire you on the spot. They'll just say, you know, go home and think about what you've done, and you know, come back tomorrow. You come back, or they call you and say, don't come back because you're fired, or you show up and get fired. Oh, that happened to me. I blew the fuck up on my boss. Came to work the next day. Oh, come with me. Oh, and that's how the Scorpion Show was born. But anyway, I was not expecting. No, I knew I was going to get fired because when I woke up, I said, Kevin, you're going to get fired today. I knew I was going to get fired. So it wasn't really much of a shock. But I just like, damn, Kevin, you was spot on. You was spot the fuck on. Because I just felt it when I woke up. But anyway, if Porsha's fired, you know, it's her fault for fighting. But see, if it's true that the other housewives are saying we're not going to come back if Porsha is fired, I mean, all of you guys are replaceable. You are replaceable. There's so many Atlanta shows. Like, I like Married to Medicine. They all right. That gets me through my Sunday night. If they became the new Housewives of Atlanta, them bitches were gay. I am not going to quit my job for one person. No, I am not. I won't. I need my check and keep my check coming the fuck in. How you doing? So, I don't know. I want to know what y'all think about it. I seen y'all tweets are, you know, on the green screen and everything. And I'll be replying to your comments. Make sure y'all look out for my Total Divas review. And also make sure that y'all look out for Michaela and I's new video. And then Monday, make sure y'all look out for Mama Mondays. It's going to be a busy little week with these videos. So make sure y'all stay tuned and keep watching. And if you have not subscribed yet, you better click that subscribe button. And I'll see y'all later on. Peace. Damn, 208 comments.